Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op.
Hello, Couch Co-opers, Couch Potatoes, and Couch Codependents. This is the Couch Co-op Show, and I'm Ian, and I got Dave and Jared with me tonight.
Hello.
Ooh, good evening.
Please do me a
morning.
favor and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Couch Co-op Shows, all one word, no hyphen. And that's also our hashtag, if anyone remembers that. Hashtag, all one word, no hyphen. And you can find us, anyway. Hey, man, it's been a hot minute since we did one of these, and we've been asked to do more of these.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
we're going to do some more. So
I like that.
talk about
like
video
that.
games.
I always like talking about video games.
Yes. Yeah.
I guess what we'll do then at the top is like get to the beat list. You guys beat anything lately?
My list is a little too long, so I'll let you guys go first.
No, just
All right.
rifles. How about you
Yeah.
rifle some off, and then
All
we'll
right,
go to Dave.
since the last episode was Blaster Master 03. So since then I've beat Sackboy: A Big Adventure on my PS5, Psychonauts on my PC. I did an arcade game in the collection called Search and Rescue, A Plague Tale: Innocence, and I also did Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, and I just beat The First Tree today.
So which of those? Pick two that you want to talk about.
Well, everybody else is beating Psychonauts 2, but I beat Psychonauts 1, and I just started playing Psychonauts Rhombus of Ruin in PlayStation VR.
Okay.
So I'm excited to get through that, because I've heard that goes directly into Psychonauts 2. And
Well, I have a question. Do you play that on with the VR hooked up to your PlayStation 5, and do you notice any difference?
I don't have it hooked up to my PlayStation 5. It's in my garage with my PS4 Pro and next to my PC
I
here.
suppose you got a Pro as well, so that would.
Yeah, I do have a
90% of the
PS4
way,
Pro.
yeah.
I would assume that game runs really good either way. I mean, it's actually really, really cool. The graphic style inside of VR is really unique because that game already has a really unique art style, and when it's up in your face, it's just more of that, but you can look around everywhere, and I really enjoy it so far. I'm maybe just like an hour in, but I want to keep playing that. It's really, really good. But Psychonauts, I think most of it, like the voice acting and the story, really hold up. Everybody, is always mentions that the platforming didn't really hold up. I don't think it was really ever a good platformer, even when it came out. Just most people were really interested in the storyline and the characters and all that, and that all still holds up. This is my first time through Psychonauts, because I never really had a way to play it. I guess I could have bought it on my PlayStation 4 because it did come out. It's pretty much on all the PlayStations, and it came out originally on the PS2 and Xbox, something like that.
It's been around a long time.
Yeah, it's been around a long time. So I finally got around to playing it, and I decided that I should really get into it because it's one I've always been interested in, and I'm glad I did.
How was A Plague Tale?
Fantastic. I'm
What
not
kind
a
of game-
huge.
What kind of game is that? I just know because I was looking through and my PS Plus games. I had that, and
It does have a little bit of combat, but not a ton. It doesn't really force it down your throat. A lot of it comes down to like evading people chasing you, or very simple
more stealthy than
puzzles. Yeah.
like that vampire game. Did you play that?
Oh, Masquerade. Or
Yeah.
no, Vampire. No,
Vampire.
No,
yeah.
I didn't play that. There's a little bit of stealth in it, which near the end it can get kind of annoying. But again, like they really didn't program the game to be a challenging stealth game or anything like that. AI is really stupid, and you can just pretty much walk around them. So I mean, if you don't like stealth, this game is probably going to be just fine for you. If I got through it without complaining about it too much, I think anybody could really get through it because
Yeah.
the story's really interesting and the characters were really well done. I originally started trying to play it in where the game is made, which is in France, and I tried using the subtitles while they were speaking French, and they speak so fast that I'm a really fast reader, and I was having troubles looking at the screen and subtitles all at the same time. So I had to switch that back to English and be like, no subtitles.
Yeah, I've been watching a
But
lot of subtitled TV, and it's the same thing. Sometimes they're just too fast.
yeah. I mean, I'm really good at keeping up with that kind of thing, but that game, you really don't want to do subtitles on unless you have to. But yeah, I would strongly recommend at least trying the game because it's very brutal and I mean it's Plague Tale, so I mean it has to do with rats, and the rat technology was the thing that a lot of people really liked in that. You know how they kind of ball up, and when you move light around, they all shuffle to the side, and it burns some of them. And most of the puzzles are based around placing light in the right spot so you can get to where you need to go.
Oh, get the
So
rats out the way so that you can
yeah,
clear a path.
So it's not gonna stress you out with a lot of action. It's not that kind of game.
And it's a
Some
pretty
some
short game, too,
areas
right?
can be.
It's pretty short.
I
It's
don't
like
know how
5,
long it
6
took me,
hours, I
but
think.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty quick. But I would recommend either one of you at least try it.
Yeah, I mean, I got loaded games that I've downloaded. I just haven't played many of them recently.
Yeah, just throw it in. You'll know if you like it right away. I mean, that's what the game is. Once you start it, and do like your first rat section, you know, there's a prologue kind of thing before you go out and do what you need to do, just to get the story rolling. But yeah, super cool. I really enjoyed it. I actually couldn't put it down. I stayed up pretty late nights playing that game.
Cool.
I don't do that with every game.
How about you, Dave? You got anything you've beaten lately?
Oh, I haven't played many games, but the last 2 games I've spent a lot of time with. I beat both of them, and I actually platinum both of them. So I can't remember if I was playing it on the last podcast I did but Wreckfest. I really enjoyed that
Oh
game.
yeah, that's been a while. You haven't been on for a long time.
Yeah, that's a good game, and of course I wasn't expecting to get a PlayStation 5, so I beat it, and then like 2 weeks later my PlayStation 5 comes, and it was when they just given it to you on PS Plus as well. So I've tried it a little bit on the PlayStation 5, and it is good. The loading times are a lot better, and that helps a lot. And then the only other game I've really played is Ratchet and Clank. I can't remember.
Rift Apart.
Rift Apart. That's it. Yeah. And I actually platinumed that in the end.
I'm surprised you went through and platinumed it because it seems like you didn't really enjoy it.
Yeah, it was just more the same. I do like the weapons on it. I don't know why. I just wasn't in the mood for it. It's like, but it's a good game. It's not a horrible game, and it's not like a super hard game. It does everything right, if you know what I mean. You're never like, oh, where do I need to go next to finish this mission or whatever. But there's enough like little side passages and stuff to make it interesting. And I do always like the way they do the weapons on that with the upgrades. I think that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, the upgrades are a lot of fun because it's not just a basic weapon. It slowly upgrades, and after you get it fully upgraded, it has like all these extra features just blasting the hell out of everything.
I think part of it was as well the story wasn't very good. I thought it was kind of a bit of a confusing mess. But Ian's like, I disagree with that. But
yeah, I don't know. It gave, it kept on jumping between the characters and stuff like that, which, I mean, I get why it did that, but
I get that it's not a super. I could see where it's not a super engaging story. I think it was super easy to follow, though. I mean, I didn't think it was like confusing in any way.
True. It was. Boiled down to its essence, yeah. But at times,
I like the new character.
I mean,
what's her name?
Rivet.
Rivet is. I think she's super cute and fun to play, and it's cool to. I don't know. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I liked her story arc with her robot and all
Mhm,
that stuff.
mhm.
That was really cool.
But I enjoyed it, and the other thing I think like it was a good looking game, and I just there was only one or two times where I caught little things in the graphics, and I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. It didn't. I just didn't feel like I was playing like PlayStation 5, as a PlayStation 5 game. But that might, in some respects, that's because the Ratchet and Clank games have always, like on the PlayStation 4, they looked really good and they were really well
There was
done.
only one PlayStation 4
True,
version, and that was the remaster or the remake.
but it did look good, and it was
I mean, I think that first time you land is Ratchet, and there's that puddle of water, and the whole city's moving reflection in the water is like, that is remarkable. Like, cause I don't know, I thought it was pretty cool.
it was a really solid game though. It wasn't. Well, it's not that I disliked it. It's just
So
it wasn't the perfect game.
so last night I found myself watching Shrek with the family, and
That's
I
not
was
aged well.
noticing things in that like, oh, back when Shrek came out, there was already like really good reflections in metal and really amazing textures and stuff like that. But I mean that movie has
movie looks like
aged,
butt.
but it does have reflections,
Right.
and they're like actual real reflections. And I'm like, wow! And video games just got there, and that movie's almost 20 years old. You know, it's
Ah,
ancient
but that's
beast.
the difference between doing it in real
Yeah.
time
Oh,
and
I know. Rendering it
rendering it
versus real time.
when you
Yeah.
spend 8 hours to render one frame.
But now that we have consoles powerful enough to do that, well, mostly powerful enough. I mean, it seems like it's still pretty trivial. You know, you have to sacrifice a lot to get the reflections,
Like
but
just to give you an example though, I downloaded Control just to see what it looked like on the PlayStation 5 because I'm not sure if all our listeners realize, but when you buy a PlayStation 5, if you go into the PlayStation Plus store, there's like 30 is it 20 or 30 games you can download? It's like God
it's
of
a
War,
lot.
Horizon. It's like all really good solid games that you like. My only disappointment was that I played most of them because to be quite honest, if I was assembling a game library and I was recommending some of the best PlayStation 4 games for people to play, that you know this there's enough breadth in there as well that you could find something that you like.
Well, doesn't
But
Control
anyway,
have a PS5 upgrade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
yes,
gave it for free on PS
Yeah, yeah,
Plus
yeah, yeah.
once upon a time, which
yeah. But I mean,
to
back to my
non
point.
PS5 users, don't forget to claim your PS5 games. So when you do
Yeah,
get it, you can download them.
but back to my point was that I loaded up Control and I played a little bit into the first level, and I thought that showed off the PlayStation 5 more than Ratchet and Clank did.
Oh, no
That's just
way. No way. I think Ratchet and Clank is. There's so much going on in the backgrounds of Ratchet and Clank, dude. There's like is it in the back of Control? It's like it's just a corridor, and
I don't
the
know.
amount of lighting effects and shit going on in the backgrounds is ridiculous. It's like I can't even believe that this is going on in a game right now.
Maybe I'm blind.
Control's pretty like just like I don't know. I mean, Control's
There's
great.
there's a
There's a lot of
lot of particle
atmospheric
effects.
effects
But
and
then-
particle effects
then
in Control
also-
that are great. But I mean, like the world
Maybe
that's
it's
going on.
maybe it's the style, because Control is trying to be a real world type game. It's trying to create a representation of the real world. Where obviously Ratchet and Clank it's like a
It's a cartoon. No, yeah, it's a
larger than
cartoon.
life world. So maybe and maybe it's just harder to wow with a cartoon world because
Maybe.
I get that. Yeah, I
Things
get
are-
that. If you're not into like animated or that type of game style, you might not notice the different pieces of effects that are going on around there.
Well,
It might just feel like normal if that's just something you don't see very often.
Well, it's interesting because today I just beat Ratchet and Clank into the Nexus, which is the last actual story game from the franchise, and that was on PS3. And so playing that is what I feel Dave feels Ratchet and Clank looks like. This new one. Like he doesn't. But what's crazy about that game is how graphically it's not as awesome as this new one, but
Mhm.
the game is the game is the same
Yeah.
game, dude. It's
Yeah,
like
it still looks
it's
really
so
great.
it
yeah.
handles, and this is interesting too. I played it on PlayStation Now, so it's just streaming to me. I have really good internet, but it all still feels incredibly responsive.
Maybe
And
that's part of it as well. Why I'm not so wowed at it. It's because, like you say, it plays like all the other Ratchet and Clanks. It's very, the riffs are kind of a cool addition.
that's a new thing.
But that's the main new thing. I mean,
Yeah, it
most
is.
of the rest of the game is just variations on.
It's not. It's funny. Here's the other funny thing. Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus, they never go into a Nexus. They actually deal with the rifts. I'm surprised it's not called a, because they don't ever. Ratchet never goes into a rift or a Nexus or anything. They send Clank into a rift every once in a while, and it's actually a rift because it's the same storyline, the Dimensionator and all that shit. So it's kind of happening, but it's when they do it in that game, it's a separate mini game. As you jump into a rift as Clank, and then you do the platforming, which
I also missed I always thought like Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal was a great name for a game.
Yeah, it is. I never played it though, but
they kind of really tamed that because it was Ratchet and Clank going commando, Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal.
It used to be a little more like that. I remember you and I, and like back in the day, which was the Ratchet and Clank we used to play a lot of, like split screen too.
No, they had a four-player one, and you could team up and then take each other.
Yeah, we used to play it a lot though. What was that called?
I think that's on Up Your Arsenal.
Is it on Up Your Arsenal?
I think it's on that game.
I remember really enjoying playing that. Like you'd have like Capture the Flag and all the rest of it.
We did that on the collection on the PS3, I think, with Ian. We did that and All For One.
Oh, we did All For One.
We all played those. We did also
game.
play the remasters on the PS3. I think it was on the PS3, and we did a lot of the multiplayer battle arenas and stuff like that. It's still pretty fun, but man, those older games really are kind of hard to look at.
Well, I mean, anyway. But I mean, if you're thinking, I think what I'm thinking, like Dave would still think that like Nexus is the same type of game, like, and even though I can, like, me personally, visually, I can totally tell the massive, like, crazy amount of change has gone through. I could see where someone would be like, "It's just more Ratchet and Clank." I could totally see that.
I think that was my problem with it. It was just, it's more Ratchet and Clank, and there wasn't really that much. And maybe there doesn't need to be many changes to it because, I mean, the mechanics in that game are pretty solid anyway. But
oh yeah, they feel great.
So maybe that's just, but it just felt like a game I'd played before. And
I will say, like, so beating Nexus just like today, that game, the weapons, I wasn't as much as a fan of. The thing about Rift Apart is that I was using all of those weapons all the time. Like, I was constantly switching through them. There's certain Ratchet and Clanks definitely suffer through, like, I'll just use like 2 or 3 of the weapons.
Yeah.
Rift Apart, the new one, man, I was constantly using all the weapons.
I mean, the game did really open up in the second half once you got about, like, kind of the weapons. I mean, because I just like at first the mushroom weapon, the mushroom get Mr. Fungi. I was like, eh.
Oh, it's such a good crowd control weapon, dude.
But then once you level it up, it's like, oh yeah, this is great.
Oh
and
yeah.
And
you always make sure to have one out.
Yeah, and then some weapons are just like really, they just don't work against certain enemy types, and then other weapons work great against. It depends on what you're fighting and what you're trying to do. Like the electric gun, I can't remember what it's called, but like the electric bolt.
Oh yeah,
fire it at a low-level enemy and it branches out, and it's great for killing those little Blimer monster things or whatever they are.
Maybe just for you, Jared. I know you beat Into the Nexus, but it's interesting to play that game now and just how actually similar it is to Rift Apart in certain ways. Like, it's got the one massive open world area where your speed boots are really important, and so Nexus actually has a level like that, and you go around killing giant monsters just like you do in I don't know. It's just really interesting. Like it's really kind of like, wow, they kind of this game was. I mean, Into the Nexus was like a cheap, like a budget buy. It was like a $30 game, I think, when it launched. It wasn't because it's not very long. It's like 5-6 hours. So like then they take Rift apart and they kind of expand. They continue the storyline, but they kind of expand on that game, but make it crazy pretty.
Well, that's the other thing. I don't think Ratchet and Clank is a game I would ever buy at full price anyway. Not to say that the bad games or anything. It's just not quite my style of game.
Yeah, totally.
You know, I've played quite a lot of them and I've enjoyed them. So don't get me wrong, but by the same token, they're not. If I was to sit down, if I'm honest, and I was to sit down and like select the game type that I like, it would be something like Horizon, open world, involving story, you know, that kind of thing, as opposed to. But Ratchet and Clank clicks some of those boxes with the weapons system, the weapons, and like Ian said, I definitely, I would find favorite weapons, but then it would change over time as well as I got new weapons and upgraded them. It's like it. If there's one thing that game does really well, it is just the variety of weapons that you have, and the way they all work differently, which is quite, you know, it's kind of a hard thing to do when you stop and think about it.
Yeah, it's not just aim and shoot. You actually have to think about where your projectiles are going and how they work.
In some respects, it's like it's probably some of the most memorable weapons in a video game.
Well,
even when you think of like this Destiny and what's that sniper rifle, and various other things. Those are the only other guns in the video game that I can kind of think of. Yeah, but
Icebreaker. He's talking about Icebreaker.
Yeah,
I've been playing a lot of Destiny here and there.
No, but like also like just the fact that how well they work together. Like they really like even in this in Into the Nexus, like they have two glove bomb type weapons. One's the exploding one, but the other's an anti-gravity black hole one. So like you'll throw the one anti-grav everybody together, and then you'll throw a bomb and kill them all. And it's just like the combos. They don't reward you for doing combos really, but all those weapons just they work off each other so well.
The one that turns people into plants as well, and that
that's
one,
great.
Once you level that up, that's really good. When you first get it, you're like, what is the
topiary sprinkler?
Yeah, you're like, oh, this is
great.
terrible. And then once you level it up and you start using it on some of the bigger bosses and all the rest of it, you just kind of like, okay, I see what they were trying to do here.
Yeah, how many other games have the weapons impact the bosses as much as they do the little guys? I mean, that's pretty rewarding, I think.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this series. I own all of them, and the ones I don't currently have, they're on PlayStation now, so that's why
I've borrowed most of them from Ian over the years.
Kind of going through them, but it is interesting too. It's a series that I feel it's kind of like it's a bit easier to play now. In those PS2 days, it was a bit more difficult of a game, and they've kind of.
But part of me is like, I mean, I don't see where they go with the mechanics to make it much better. If you know what I mean. And I don't.
No, I think they just have to improve the story and.
Bad thing, but yeah, it's just. And to be quite honest, it's like, but at some point you can only make the same movie so many times.
Can you though? I mean, you can make Call of Duty over and over again. You can make Battlefield over and again. You can make Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
You know, we've been playing how many versions of Grand Theft Auto? I mean,
but those, I think they look better each time, and it's just like I just didn't feel it like.
I mean, honestly, if you were to take the last one and this one, you would see a vast improvement. Plus, there's like no loading times, so that's also
true. That was nice that it was like basically no loading times for any of it. You just
and then you have the the controller shit. I don't know. There's some cool stuff.
So Dave, next
I did not like that haptic feedback though.
You don't like haptic feedback shit? Oh man, have you played Astrobot?
I was almost ready to turn that off on the at least on Ratchet and Clank, because before I powered up the weapon, it just felt like the controller was breaking. I was breaking the controller in my hands, you know.
Oh man, all the PlayStation exclusives are gonna have that, Dave.
I know.
So Dave, next, are you gonna borrow Demon's Souls or Immortals: Phoenix Rising?
do I have to?
You should try Astrobot. You should try Astro.
you-
Have you played Astrobot
just-
yet?
Just looking at Demon Souls, that's a different level of game you've probably never seen or played. It might be fun just to experience it for like an hour until you get pissed off. I'm like, yeah, that's not for me.
I might, I'm willing to give it a try because
You can just borrow both of them.
there's
'Cause
some games I just don't. I've never played, and I don't play them because I've never played them.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't like that kind of game. I've just never played that kind of game. So maybe
Demon Souls was fantastic, and I hope you at least enjoy the little bit that you see visually, and maybe you get the feeling for a certain weapon where you can progress a little bit and enjoy that much of it.
Anyway, Ian, what else have you beat?
So I also beat. We won't spend any time on this because you should respect your sanity. But I beat Fast and the Furious Crossroads. I think it could have been an awesome game, but
that's so sad.
But it's awful. So anyway, and then I beat. And this is sad because this is like probably the last time I'll play a Wolfenstein on PlayStation. But Wolfenstein Old Blood, I finally played through that. And
how did you find that?
That is brilliant. I don't know. I mean,
I've loved all. Did you play it on?
Oh, I played it on normal, and then when I was getting stuck, I said, "Fuck it, I just want to."
I don't know why I think it was because it was that Christmas when people were hacking the.
I don't think I could ever do that on Uber, dude. Holy shit!
So
How did you get through that?
Uber. What are you talking about?
Uber difficulty.
Uber difficulty.
Dave, didn't you platinum it, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way. I would like cut off my dick and like.
No, maybe I didn't platinum the Old Blood. I did the original Wolfenstein 1.
Oh, I would not want to play this.
That was hard.
That final boss. There's no way I'd want to play that final boss on Uber, dude.
Oh, Hitler in the mecha.
Fire everywhere.
No. In Old Blood, it's that giant Frankenstein beast monster.
Yeah, I didn't beat Old Blood on the super difficulty. It was I think it was New Order that I beat on the Uber difficulty.
Anyway, I thought it was really cool the whole pipe thing, and it had some craggy rock that you climb up, and there's a lot of kind of stealth stuff that I thought was cool. I don't know, it's a great, and I just, it's a standalone DLC, so it's like it's its own game, and the story's pretty simple, but like there's some funny jokes that I really thought were funny. Like the guy, you usually have that guy saying, in this part you should really sneak through and not be detected, and Blazkowicz is like, what? I can't hear you. What? Kill all the Nazis?
I just like
it's funny. I thought that was hilarious.
As a character.
And then, but yeah, at certain times he'd have an internal monologue that was really fucking dark, and I was just like, yeah. And then at the end of the game is basically it's the prequel to New Order, so like then it rolls into New Order, and then it's like just how dark that game is, and just how like really well written the characters are. I was like, yeah, man, hopefully I'll be able to play it on my PC when the new one comes out.
And the weapons are exactly what you want in that kind of game.
Yeah, Jared's gonna go through Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Yeah, I bought Youngblood on Stadia for like $2.
Nice. Oh, Stadia finally started having some good deals on the games as opposed to trying to charge you $60 for everything.
Sometimes.
I don't know.
I keep track every once in a while, and I couldn't pass that up
because
I haven't played that one yet. I don't know. I doubt it.
No, if it was crossplay, I could play with you. But
we I don't know. We could check it out, but I don't think any of those those games are crossplay.
But
I have always enjoyed the Wolfenstein series. I like the weapons in it are good. Let's face it, there's no moral ambiguity about killing Nazis in general. I love the kind of techno future robot kind of stuff that goes on as well.
Almost kind of steampunky in a way, but not quite.
Yeah, it's definitely that.
Especially in Old Blood, where they like have these like monster mech guys that are on like these train rails, like electrical. It's like that's kind of creative, and then it creates a game within that you have to stealth around. I don't know. I just really I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. It was on sale like for like $4.99 last month or something on PSN. So I was like, fuck it, I'll get this and play through it. And because I've been meaning to, and I just haven't, and I never had it. So, but yeah, man, that was really cool too. I enjoyed that. Youngblood's a great game too. I think Youngblood gets unfairly criticized for the backtracking. I love that game. I think that game's great. I played it with Dave quite a bit. I don't mind going back and through, and I don't know. I had fun with that game, and I thought the twin are they twins? I think they're twins. I thought they were funny. I don't know.
Yeah, once I got into it with you and the backtracking, that was one of those games where I think part of my problem with it was it wasn't always clear where you were meant to go or what you were meant to do. And like we were saying about Ratchet and Clank, it's like that doesn't have that issue, but like the Youngblood
has that. No, I agree. I think the signposting in some of that and the way they kind of do quests can be kind of confusing at first. I was, but like
once
you just get into it.
The idea of the levels, and once you've done it once or twice, you get the like layout, and then that's half the fun. Is that it's like, okay, this time how do I do?
And
this
there's more verticality to that game than the other games. There's a lot of because it's the levels are designed by the Dishonored crew, so it has these very kind of Dishonored like levels that are kind of interesting.
That's cool.
It was a little disjointed as well, and
sure.
because it's designed to be played with someone else. Some of the times I played it, it was it just matched me with some random dude, and either they knew where they were going and just ran off, or like it just never. It like when you and I played it, Ian, because we had the communication, it was fun. But when I played,
and you don't have to play it with somebody else. You can turn that off.
True, you can play it with a computer, but yeah, that was one of the weakest ones. I think the only one I haven't played actually is what is it, Cyber Pilot? Is that the VR?
That's the VR one. Yeah, I haven't.
I'll pick it up eventually. I mean,
I just have a feeling
it goes on sale for less than $10 pretty often.
It's funny they reference Cyber Pilot in Youngblood. One of the women, she has like these design layouts for this like mech thing. Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Right on.
I did. Speaking of which, I did pick up Cyberpunk on the Best Buy sale. It was $10 for the PlayStation 4 version, and it even came with a free steelbook as well.
That's awesome. And how much have you sold the steelbook for? Have you put it on yet?
I haven't sold it yet, but they were going for about $5 to $10.
Is it a cool steelbook or is it stupid?
The one I got, I don't know. I've not played the game, but I'll show it you. It's right there.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
It's
it's all right.
Kind of cool. I like the back, but
yeah. I was like, if it was like yellow metal and then like had the logo, like I would be kind of like more interested.
Well, the other thing that sucks is that game came with like a load of postcards and all the rest of it. They don't fit in the steelbook.
Oh, weird.
Oh, I don't know. I got the digital version. I didn't get anything.
Yeah, it came with loads of stuff.
I installed it on my PlayStation 5 about 2 weeks ago, and I haven't touched it.
Oh, you should play it, dude.
I'm waiting for the upgrade, which supposedly is coming out later this year, but I'm very doubtful about that.
I'm kind of interested.
I got plenty of time.
I'm kind of interested if so there is a hack you can do. There is like a exploit. I don't know if they patched it out, but there's so when you're playing the game, you can look it up. I don't know if it's still there, but there's a piece of art you can get, and you can sell it and then reobtain it for free and then resell it. So you can just keep up your money. Infinite money hack exploit, which was a lot of fun to use in the game.
Yeah, I bet.
But I love that game. I played the shit out of it, dude. I loved it.
I'm still excited to play it, but I can wait because I have plenty of other stuff to play.
I played on my PS5.
Oh, nice. So it was an enjoyable experience. Cause
I think it ran fine. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work on a PS4 or a standard Xbox. It just maybe now it does. Maybe now it does, but
you can buy it digitally on the PS4 now. They just recommend not playing it on a PS4.
Yeah, standard. But yeah, it runs fine on the PS5. It did have a couple. Occasionally there'd be a crash early on when I first it launched because I bought it at launch. But towards the end it was running fine. I never had any issues, and I had a fucking blast.
I have no worries about it running badly on the PlayStation 5, and I figure they've probably fixed most of the bugs by now,
But
because they haven't given up on the game. Give them the due.
They won't.
They're still working really hard on it.
And I'm really curious to see, because I did play it. I'm gonna totally play it again. I'm curious to see what it looks like on a PS5 because I know what the PS4 version looks like.
Yeah, and the PC version looks pretty nice.
And I thought the version I had running on my PS5 looked better than a lot of PS4 games. So I was just, I just think they shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have done the whole
Yeah,
release
they
it for
should have.
PS4.
They should have just cut the losses and made it PS5.
But I think they made actually decent money. So even though they had to give a bunch back.
Yeah, a bunch of lawsuits and all that stuff. Yeah, it sucks. They've just
we're
been
such
getting
a
torn
picky
in half.
bunch, aren't we, us gamers?
Yeah, so picky. But yeah, I'll probably start Youngblood after I'm done beating Doom 64. I'm about halfway through Doom 64 on my Stadia.
Are you being paid to mention this at every?
Well, you're not paying for Pro though. You're not paying for Pro.
I'm not. I upgraded my internet, so now I have I can actually use it and get a decent.
Well, this is a great thing because I do.
Next, you're gonna get some Raycon earbuds, aren't you?
Yeah.
No. But here's the thing.
Sponsor Raycons. Aaron's already talking about them.
I definitely like playing on the Stadia. I just wish their games were cheap. Like there's some cheaper games. Like you look at all this shit going on, with all these other consoles and stuff, and it's so dirt cheap to buy a game. And you go to even if you go to Stadia's, you get a certain discount, but then Pro get even lower. But even those games aren't that great.
I know what you mean. You've kind of been spoiled, and we all have by Steam and the Epic Store.
Well, even PlayStation and Xbox
and the free
fucking
games.
Game Pass and
and I really
PlayStation Plus. I mean.
Oh yeah, I mean we get 4 games a month, 3 to 4 games every single month for free, and most of them.
Any of you play tennis?
Yeah, but even then, it's like every month or two, there's something you want to play.
Well, that's the crazy thing about the whole Epic thing. Like I was telling my friend Jeremy, our friend on Discord, about Epic Store. I've been with Epic Store since the very beginning. I think I have like almost 200 some odd games now that I haven't played, but I've downloaded 200 free games from that fucking store that I have. It's bigger than my Steam library right now.
Yeah, I tried to think what my PlayStation Plus library looks like because I've been on that since I got my PlayStation 4 shortly after launch. So
we all have over 400 games on that thing. It's pretty astronomical at this point.
So I did see.
Well, the one thing about that though, the PlayStation Plus library is like you don't pay for Plus, those games go away.
Yes, they're not.
The Epic Store is literally. Those are my 200 games I have.
I think it's the same on Xbox Live. The free games they gave for that you keep, even if you lose or don't pay for your subscription anymore.
There are some free games that I think PlayStation gave away that we do keep forever, but anyway.
Oh, that's the PlayStation 5 thing, I think. I don't know if you keep those if the Plus thing goes away, or
no,
that was
there were those free games we got
when
the hack. And
I know the one. I know the one you mean. There was like the Days of Summer games and that kind of stuff that they gave away.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did the Days of Summer.
They do give us some free stuff, but free stuff. But no, I the Stadia thing. I would like to use Stadia more. Because I have great internet, but I don't. So that's why I got PlayStation Now. And so PlayStation Now, it's funny. I'll just be down in my basement, and I'll just be like, oh, I'll just try. So I've tried a bunch of stupid games that no one would ever want to play, but like MotorStorm RC or Ghost Runner or Neo 2 or, I've played just a bunch of random Slay the Spire, Car Mechanic Simulator, I've played a bunch of just random. I was like, "Oh, what's this?"
Stuff you would never buy,
right? But I'll try it for a few seconds.
Played it, yeah.
I think Jerry would dig Slay the Spire, but
yeah, maybe. But I'll try it someday. But I really dig the Stadia controller, but the triggers are extra sensitive. You barely bump it accidentally, and it's using it. The L and R2 triggers are really, really sensitive.
I think my Stadia controller is in the
box.
It's in the box in the crate. I think I have
my Stadia controller.
I have the Founders Edition, so I have the special.
Me too. Oh no, I didn't. They gave
blue...
like this special promo where I got it for free.
Yeah, you have the standard, like the white's kind of the.
The white, whatever.
I have like this funky blue one.
Oh, that's cool. I'll trade you.
No.
No, I hooked it into this TV I have in the garage because they gave the Chromecast or whatever. So I've been using it through there. Plus, I can watch movies and stuff. Just have my phone interact with it. It's pretty easy to use. So
I will say that.
I like that.
The shitty thing about that controller is that I can't use it to control other games. Like it only works with Stadia. I can't use it to play.
So you can't just plug it into USB-C and
I don't think so. I don't think it recognizes it on Steam.
That's
Huh.
weird. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
let
that's
me use
weird.
the controller. I mean,
I
maybe
don't
I
know, unless
really
they
liked
patched
your
it.
controller.
Way back
Well,
when I got it, they didn't. Maybe
well,
they
even
patched
on
it.
even on the Epic Game Store, you have to download some special program to get your PlayStation 4 your PlayStation 4 controller to work with Epic.
Yeah,
And Amazon doesn't rec it. There's no settings for controllers in Epic or Amazon. It's just like, you just need to have a compatible controller.
that's why the
It's like,
USB Xbox 360 controller is the way to go.
I
yeah,
must admit,
yeah.
I love those. I love those things. Considering I've got 4 of them for the
I mean,
Pi.
I have 4 of them, so
Yeah, you've got my 4. I've got one
I need
here.
to give you. I need to give you your
I've
Pi
got
back.
one here for my stuff, and it's like they're just tank. They feel good, and the layout's good, and they just work. I mean, that's really all you want. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're gonna, because the only other way you're gonna control a game is mouse and keyboard.
Well, my curiosity, I'm surprised that Dave doesn't like the DualSense controller and all the feedback. I think that shit's awesome. You don't like that at all, huh?
I didn't like. Well, let's face it. The only game I've really played that had it, I played Rec Fest on PS5 and that had some of the haptic feedback, and I didn't mind it there. I just didn't like. I didn't like the way Ratchet and Clank implemented it at first. The trigger pull, it was a little too much.
Oh, the Returnal one's interesting too because it does the half and then the full pull.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have
it
you
does a lot of
played
that.
Astro's Playroom yet, Dave?
He
It
needs
came
to
with
play
your
it.
system.
It's free. Astro's Playroom. You need to play
Oh,
that.
is it free?
It's free.
It's really good. It's on
It's-
your system already.
That's gonna drive you nuts.
But it's super cool. You should test it out. I mean, it's an easy
I might
platinum
I
too
might
if you
give
want
it
an
a
easy
whirl.
platinum.
It's a short
Honestly,
game. It's a short game.
I'm just like, I don't know what it is, but maybe it's this summer and it's just been so hot and
Yeah.
being at home and stuff, and then I've just had a lot of other things that I've been working on as well, so it's kind of.
I will say the haptic feedback in Warframe is a little intense. Like the gunshot.
I haven't tried it on
Oh.
PS5 yet.
You should try it, Jared. I mean, it works. It really kicks though. It's like that gun's kicking.
I played a little bit of Borderlands 3 like that, and yeah, every gun feels different on the controller, so it's pretty cool
that's
that way.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so I need to play more Borderlands 3 because I want to enjoy that again because I didn't Borderlands 1 and 2 I platinum, but maybe someday I'll work on the platinum of Borderlands 3.
Three wasn't as good as 2.
No, it wasn't.
No,
but
it's
I
not.
still enjoyed playing through it.
It wasn't a bad game.
It feels good. It feels good.
It's fine.
Do they have a Borderlands 4 for the PlayStation 5 yet? Or
Oh, that's
No, that's they're still
that's not out
they're still
yet.
sucking on the teat of Borderlands 3. Are you kidding?
DLC. Well, the season pass is like $50, so I'm like, I'm not gonna get the
There's
season
a there's
pass. No
a
way.
there's a free upgrade for PS like right?
Yeah,
yeah,
it is a
just-
free upgrade to
well-
PS5 edition. Yeah.
I get you. Okay.
Yeah,
Though
so
we want to talk about news a little bit. Sony's saying they're not going to hand out any more free upgrades.
no, but they did switch their minds about the Horizon, whatever the sequel is called. Now the PS5 upgrade is going to be free.
But they're not going to give us any more. Which I get that. Come on, did they ever do that before? No.
No.
No, yeah, it's like,
All these people
Although,
are getting
yeah.
like selfish and shit.
well, it's kind of interesting, isn't it? Remember, like, one of the biggest games for the PlayStation 4 when it first came out was like The Last of Us Remastered.
Yeah.
I mean, whether you like the game or not is beside the point, but a lot of the early PlayStation 4 games were like remastered PlayStation 3 games, weren't they?
Yeah, but they didn't give us a free upgrade.
No, I know, and I totally get that. It's like I think the only reason they've done it so far is just because
Well, it's so close. There's so many
there
games that were.
it's so close, but there aren't that many games that are PlayStation 5 only.
True.
Well, yeah. This has got to be one of the first generations where both games are coming out to both systems. PS4, PS5.
Well, that's the other thing. Their games are ultimately designed on a PC, and so they're scalable. They're
Yeah.
obviously scalable to begin with, but at a certain point, they're not going to be able to make them for PS4 anymore because you got to move on. You know.
Yeah,
So, like-
but they're. But that's one thing I like about like Microsoft and Sony is they're gonna keep supporting their users of their old Xbox, their old PlayStation, and stuff like that for quite a while. Whereas, like Nintendo, if a new system comes out, bam, the Switch is going to be pulled off the shelf immediately.
Well, the other
They
thing
sell out of stock and they're done.
the other thing that happened, that you think about last generation, was that the PlayStation 4 isn't backwards compatible with PlayStation 3 games, whereas now the PlayStation 5 is backwards compatible with most PlayStation 4 games. So that's a sea change, because back then it's like even if you owned it on PlayStation 3, you had to buy PlayStation 4
that's a
version
good
for it to
point.
work.
It makes you wonder, like, if the PlayStation 3 had a more PC based processor instead of the cell processor craziness, maybe Last of Us would have been an upgrade they would have done.
Yeah,
maybe they would have implemented that, but they can't, because the architecture of that game design is so vastly different that they have to kind of redesign it.
It's not as simple as just saying, okay, like PC sliders will turn the graphics up to maximum, turn the frame rate up.
It's like it runs on a Mac, not a PC. It's one of those.
Yeah, it's a really kind of weird situation in a lot of respects, because with the backwards compatibility, it's just like, okay, so I can run an old game on here, and that's always been the case, because the Xbox 360 did something similar with the original Xbox games. Not all of them worked, but when they did work, the it would run them a little faster, or the graphics were a little better on some games because it could run them at high resolution.
Yeah, and they've been doing the same architecture since the original Xbox, so you can still play those original Xbox games on your newest Xbox.
Backwards compatibility is such a kind of a bullshit thing anyway, because like Sony killed themselves trying to do it on the PS3, and then no one cared and wanted it, and then so they don't do it because of that, and then they're always in the news and by the vocal minority getting hounded by it. But like, truthfully, most people don't care about that. Not really. I mean, sure, you kind of want it.
Maybe I care. Maybe I care about it, but I look around my office and it's like, that's why I have
a gajillion systems.
I have
a PlayStation. I have a PlayStation 1 because the PlayStation 2 doesn't play.
Yeah, it does.
It plays them all, but it has some issues with upscaling and stuff. Because I was trying to play Unjamalami about 2 or 3 months ago.
Don't forget PS3 plays PS1 games as well.
PlayStation 1 game.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't have a PS3.
And when you play it on the PlayStation 2, there's a stutter to it, even though it plays the game. It basically renders it unplayable because it's a rhythm game.
Mm-hmm.
So
you have a great PC, Dave. You should just install PSX. That thing runs at PS1 games like nothing. It's
true. Nowadays, emulation is king, isn't it? But I mean, really, the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4, it's like one's just an evolution of the. It has become more like PCs, where it's like one is.
Oh yeah.
It's just
no doubt.
10 years ago technology updated for the modern.
Well, here's the other thing. Like, Jared's kind of championing Stadia a little bit, but I'm gonna champion PS Now, dude. Like, literally, I mean, if you have great internet, this streaming video games thing is golden. Like, I jump on Ratchet and Clank Nexus on PS3 for PS3, but I'm just streaming it. There's certain games you can download if you want to, but it's like when it's PS3 or farther back, it's like that shit runs fine. I feel like it runs and I have a gig up and down, and I feel like it feels great. It looks like it looks. And some of those games, like those PS2 games, have been reworked a little bit. I still get trophies for them.
You know what's really nice about that though, as well, is remember, like, when Netflix was the only streaming service in town, really, and so pretty much everything was on Netflix. It's not going to happen like it did in movie streaming, where now there's like 20 things, so only some of what you want to watch. It's like, if you like PlayStation games and it was released on a PlayStation Now is, it's not like you have to sign up to PlayStation Now and then, like, I don't know, Take Two in, online service and all the rest of it.
Well, I feel like, some of those relationships, I mean, right now on PlayStation Now, Red Dead Redemption 2 is there. I could play it, and I could stream it, but since it's a PS4 game, I can also download it and play it. So there's
Nice.
no issues, you know. And for a service that costs $60 for a year, it's kind of incredible. Like you get
that is
that's
pretty
the
impressive.
price of a game. And for 12 months, I can play this. There's like 800 games in the library, and it's always growing. Like,
I mean, I
it's
haven't bought
kinda
any
nuts.
games for ages for the same reason. It's like PlayStation Plus has been hitting it out of the park for the last couple of months, and they, you know, I haven't been playing as much as I used to anyway. But by the same token, it's like, what they've been giving me the games that I was going to buy anyway, and it's kind of like, I just, I don't need to pay $60 for a game, and then every so often Jared will loan me one, or someone will loan me a game, and it's like, there's my gaming for the year.
100%, man. I mean, I've slowed down quite a bit too, but then every once in a while, then I just play a lot. Like, I won't play for like weeks, and then like the last 2 weeks, I just been busting out games for some reason because I just felt the desire to play video games. You know, it's just weird like that. But I just find that like the amount of sales that happen, and you can get games super cheap, or having like a streaming service like PlayStation Now. And when it works, like I'm not saying PlayStation Now is for everybody or Stadia is for everybody, but like if you have good internet and you have unlimited data, like why wouldn't you take advantage of that? Because
But
it's not going to cost you anything.
what I like about PlayStation Now over Stadia, to be quite honest, is that the PlayStation Now, like I was saying, it's like they're gonna have all the PlayStation games, whereas Stadia's, it's like they have to sign
Right, they have
up
to sign
and-
deals and
and so you're never gonna get quite the selection that you would like.
But there's some good shit. Like if I were to re-sign
Oh,
up
yeah.
with the pro membership, I'd have most of Destiny. I'd have a bunch of other free games. Like I had a bunch of free games in my library. If I re-sign up, I'd just get those games again. It's like PlayStation Plus, you know, if I quit for a month, I lose those games. But if I re-sign up, all those games are still in my library.
It
So
wouldn't be
it's
couch co-op if we didn't mention Destiny at least 5 times, would it?
Yeah. Hey, the new season's really good.
Shut it down. Start
earlier
over.
today,
Start
I
from
watched.
scratch.
Earlier today, I watched Tony Death get his ass kicked at Atheon.
Good.
He was fighting Atheon in the
I
Vault
bet
of
it was. I
Glass.
bet it was. I mean,
Did
yeah.
he poke Atheon? That's my job.
No, he wasn't poking him. He was being very decent.
So they're doing that raid in. That's raids in Destiny 2 now.
It is.
Oh man,
I don't need
I
that.
did like those raids when we did them. That was a good time. But
Oh, I mean, I'm not. Hey, I think Destiny, as an idea of the game, is brilliant. At this point, though, I'm just so far out from it and moved or
Yeah.
removed. I need a reset. I need a
Yeah,
I need a
it's
fresh.
like when a TV series and movies become so big that you can't keep it all in your head
That's
because
just like-
you've missed like 5 of them, and sometimes you just need that like back to basics first one that goes. And
What go down? What is it? Oh, anniversary.
Deluxe.
Oh.
Well, on Stadia, the
but
Destiny 2 with Deluxe 30th anniversary bundles like $100.
But the problem with this shit, the problem with that
how
shit
can
is like,
Destiny have a 30th anniversary?
yeah, isn't that
Well, it's
crazy?
Bungie's 30th.
Bungie's.
Oh.
You know what crazy though is like the problem now, because I was thinking about buying all the rest of the DLC, like the Legendary Edition. The problem is you're buying that content, but you're also losing a shit ton of content because they took so much shit out of the game.
Yeah, you can't access all of
You
that.
can't
content
access it
anymore.
all. So it's like and that's like bullshit too. So
yeah,
it's like
I wanted
don't-
to get up to date on Destiny when you guys were playing it, and they had that pack that came on a disc. But
oh
it
yeah,
doesn't
no.
actually come on the disc. It's
And it's
just
a
a bunch of
download
download
date.
codes.
Yeah, and
But
it's
and they were all
expired.
expired.
Yeah.
And it's like, so even
Because
though
they
I
don't
can go
want you to
into
play
this-
Destiny 1 anymore. That's why the
Yeah.
Vault of Glass is in Destiny 2.
But by the
Yeah,
same token, I know exactly what you mean. That's the other thing. If you get behind the 8 ball, then it becomes like, okay, so I've got to spend $100 to get this game up to date. And
But you're getting it up to it's awful.
Yeah.
And I just think at this point I really want to play Destiny, but the only way that's going to get me back into Destiny is if they release a new Destiny. Like
Yeah.
let's start at the ground floor and I'll do it. But like right now, it's just too. I don't want to get involved.
It's a fine line, isn't it? It's between like, do we charge people for each upgrade, or do we charge like some kind of monthly player fee? You know,
Look, I don't think Warframe has taken anything
$2 or
out, have they?
$3.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I think Destiny 2 already has plans through 2023, so it's still going to be a while.
Oh, I know. Oh, 100%.
I mean, it is the big daddy of that kind of game. I mean,
they didn't even want to do a sequel. It was Activision that kind of forced them to do a sequel.
So I feel like they just rebrewed it, rebrand it, and just call it Destiny again, and they get rid of the numbers and just call it fucking Destiny.
Yeah, I barely have to wait for the original Destiny's trademark to expire.
Maybe that's a good point.
Yeah,
because I don't know if Activision's hands are probably still on Destiny 1.
Let's not get started with Activision.
Yeah, true. There was all that big. That's
enough about them.
It's like,
yeah. So that's a complicated.
You know what's funny about that company though? It's like it's more Blizzard than it is Activision, which you wouldn't think, right?
Yeah.
You think of Call of Duty, fucking testosterone out of their minds dudes being assholes, but it's really these fucking awful Blizzard MMO elf motherfuckers.
Yeah,
isn't that weird?
You think it would be because Call of Duty is one of the most toxic online communities I've ever had the experience.
No doubt.
Of, you know,
I mean, and not that they're not guilty of it, but like most of this shit's coming out of Blizzard, and it's just like, what? Aren't you supposed to be the inclusive company?
Yeah, most I've not played many MMOs, but when I have and been in the chat, and people are generally pretty good, and that's in those.
Yeah, most of them have good communities. Yeah,
but all that means is that like administrators and executives are all the same kind of douchebag.
Yeah,
whatever company it is, it's always the same. And on that note, no.
Wow, that was interesting, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about that. So we haven't talked about anything really. I mean,
we haven't really
last
done
time
any news. We've just been talking about the games.
No, but I mean, we haven't really been the zeitgeist of video game talking in a very long time. So like what Jared and I talked last, right? Wasn't it Rift Apart probably? Or did we just talk?
Yeah, I think I talked about the fact that I got my platinum in that, and we kind of reviewed a little bit of it, and then kind of went into the final.
What was the last episode we did?
It's been a few weeks.
I think it was almost been a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't make it. It was after.
Mm-hmm.
Our last episode was, shooting poop, and it was August 11th, so it's almost a month. Yeah,
a few weeks.
Oh man. Anyway, the big one you want though is they announced Amiga 500 Mini, and it looks pretty cool. It comes with a mouse and a joypad.
Yeah, I saw
like
that.
The
news.
Atari.
That's interesting.
It's depends on which Atari you're talking about.
That new Atari that came out.
VCM?
No, this is more like the PlayStation Mini, which is designed. You know, it's not designed to have any new games. It's designed to like just play the old. It's like probably going to come with 20 or 30 games.
Well, the Atari can play old games, but then you can play new games on it. It's like a Ouya.
Ouya.
Because a lot of people bought
that.
No,
this is they're looking at about $140.
You gonna get it?
So
no, he's not gonna get it.
He's probably gonna get it.
No, I'm not gonna get it.
He's not gonna get it.
I have two.
You have a real one.
2 working Amigas either side of me right now.
And you have a Pi, Raspberry Pi that can play that shit too, right?
Yeah, I have a Raspberry Pi as well with an Amiga card. You don't have the Amiga card. It's that in front of me, but I can put an Amiga card in that and play Amiga on that. So
all right.
I am.
You're good to go.
Rich with Amigas, and I tell you what, I can't believe how much people want those things nowadays.
So you're investing in your daughter's future, is what you're saying?
Gosh, well, my Amiga 1200, I think I paid 150 quid for it, or 200 quid, which is about less than $300. But now I see them go for like 600 or 700. I mean, they're ridiculous. But...
Well, there's the big thing on the retro market right now that everybody's talking about, where all these old retro console games have been selling for millions, and all that stuff are all pretty much setups from these big companies that are trying to sell retro games.
Yeah.
Or the auction companies that are trying to make more money on that whole era of people trying to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think even Metal Jesus Rocks released a video about it, so I gotta
I've read
watch
about
that.
there's a lot of fake games as well on Amazon, or not even fake, but like reproduction games. You know, they're
Oh,
not
interesting. Yeah,
they it's actually become so popular that, especially with the launch of like the reproduction consoles
yeah,
that play the original games. I mean, and it's kind of hard to tell because on my desk here I've got two copies of Tetris for the Game Boy,
yeah.
and they're both different labels.
Oh, yeah,
I know they're
interesting.
both real, but one is like the USA version, and then one is I'm not. I probably need to look it up, but I'm guessing it's either Mexico or somewhere else. FAH. I don't know which country code that would be, but
Yeah.
it looks like it's got Spanish or maybe Portuguese on it.
Yeah, I think a lot of titles were released in like all the Americas, like because
Yeah,
like they'll mostly have French and Spanish, so that's like Canada, North America, and Central America.
yeah. I mean, but yeah, I mean the retro stuff has gone crazy. I mean, I've got a lot. Gosh, I've got all sorts knocking around. I've got original Nintendo. I don't have any 16-bit stuff. I don't know why. I think it's because that stuff passed me by.
I used to have a ton of 16-bit stuff, and I sold it a long time ago, and now it's just an unachievable mess. It's just too expensive.
Yeah, I
People
don't.
complain about the cost of new PS5 games, but old Super Nintendo games cost more than any PS5 game.
I mean, I think
Even when they were new,
if
some
I
of them
was
cost more than a PS5 game.
collecting now, it would be PlayStation 2 would probably be the sweet spot. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, you know,
Well,
But even
the
some of those
hardware's
games are crazy expensive.
yeah, even those are getting expensive now.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of them are coming in collections. I just started the Kingdom Hearts remaster,
Oh
and that's
boy.
on PS4. I got the whole collection of every single Kingdom Hearts game, including 3 for like $15.
I'm sorry.
That was like 9 games.
I mean, I played the first one, and then the second one I didn't. I lost interest in.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
where I'm at.
interested.
That's where I was
It's
at.
one I'll be able to play around my kids, so it's adding to the uh, amount of games I can play during the day. Like I've been playing a hell of a lot of Genshin Impact this weekend. I got Aloy. You have to get to adventure rank 20,
Nice.
and so I ground that out this weekend. That game's
Oh.
really fun. It's actually really good.
It is not a bad game. It's
The
just
story's really well
it's a lot of
written. The
grinding.
voice acting's no, it's not actually.
Really?
Uh,
It seems
yeah.
like a lot of grinding to me.
Maybe after adventure rank 20, I mean, but the ranks go up high enough. There's daily tasks and stuff like that.
Yeah, daily
And
tasks,
it really,
grinding
it doesn't,
tasks.
just 4 a day. And they take less than an hour. So
Sounds
it's
like Destiny. Sounds
it's
like
less
Yeah.
time than Destiny bounties.
I remember that time when I was logging into Destiny every day, and you know it was like a job before you go to work. You get up early and you log in and do.
But you
your,
were
like,
having fun, Dave. It
half
was
hour.
fun.
It was a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun in Genshin Impact. I haven't spent any money in it. I haven't really had an urge to. It doesn't throw it in your face or anything like that.
I might
It
re-download
doesn't
it.
have
There is a
ads that
PS5
pop
version,
up.
isn't there?
There is a PS5
Yeah.
version. It loads so quick. I was playing it on the PS4 Pro. The main reason I downloaded it is because my daughter and I can play it together. But you have to get to adventure rank 16 to play online with people.
Got you.
So I ground that out and I got there and I'm like, man, I'm having fun. So I've just been playing it a lot alone because I really enjoy it.
Maybe I'll try it.
And it's free.
No, I know it's free. I've played it for a couple hours when it first came out on PS4, and then I was like, you know, it's fine.
Yeah. So far, Aloy is a really good character. She's an archer with ice powers.
I have a question. What game? Is there a game you guys are like actually really looking forward to coming out?
It comes out this month. Kina,
Oh, that one.
Bridge of Spirits. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm excited for that. That comes out later this month.
All right. How about you, Dave?
No, and that's part of the reason. Like we haven't discussed it, but I probably should have just held off on getting my PlayStation 5. I don't like the user interface either.
Oh, really?
It takes a while to get used to.
It's too busy. I don't like the advertising. I don't like. I wish I could switch it off. I don't want to know what the latest game is and all the rest of it. But But then part of me is just like, maybe I'm just old and crotchety, and I've got used to the PlayStation 4 interface for the last 10 years. So
Yeah.
I'm giving it a chance, but
I feel like it's just a streamlined version of the PS4 version. Like it separates the media and the video games, and then
I like how the power off is all the way on the right and it's down on the bottom. I haven't found a quick way of powering it off. I like being able to hold the PlayStation button on the number 4 and then go to the power menu and just switch it off. Whereas it seems like it's a little more. It's not as
Now it's just one press and then just going over real
you know
quick. And,
the other thing.
yeah.
I don't know if your TV has that HDMI thing, but you just turn off the TV and
Oh, the arc.
it'll just go to sleep.
I've never liked that feature because it does the opposite thing where if I'm just turning the TV on for the smart TV features, it'll also turn on my PlayStation
You can
5.
actually switch that though, Jared. You can make it one of
But
the.
it's really bad with Samsung TVs.
Is it?
Samsung, yeah, it's like
It works well on mine.
Yeah, you have a Sony.
No, I don't. I have a Samsung.
Oh, that's a Samsung. Well, you only what do you use that TV for? It's not a smart TV.
No, it's not smart TV.
Yeah.
It's just
But
it's a dead ass TV that I haven't gotten rid of yet.
The last 2 TVs I've had were
said that.
Samsung ones, and even after adjusting that feature, it still turns the system on when I just turn the TV on.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I just disable it. I don't want to deal with it.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
sometimes I don't know. It was just weird and buggy.
You guys thought
Does the PS5 have voice commands like the PS4?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
it
that's
might
weird.
do because it's got the microphone on the controller.
Yeah, I don't think it does though.
I don't think it does. Like it.
Yeah, it might in the future. You know, a lot of
That's
the
funny.
UI is being modified.
Oh, that's interesting. What an interesting thing, right? The things they take out and like
Yeah.
give up on because like I remember being able to turn on the PlayStation or turn off the PlayStation with my voice.
Yeah.
I mean,
I never did.
I did it
never
for a
did.
while, but it's just like I don't want it recording me.
I
so
mean,
like,
I have
you know,
my PlayStation Eye right here next to my PC's camera.
which is stupid
but-
because they're listening in
Yeah.
anyway right now. So,
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
but it's
I'm
just like
so worried about that.
isn't that a weird piece to think? Like, there's a voice recognition technology, but then they took it out of something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm assuming their newest camera has all those same set features, just its upgraded version of it. Like I don't know anybody that bought the PS5 camera.
Yeah, because I have a PS4 camera, but obviously
Yeah.
the PS5 one's way better. You'll probably need it for the new VR headset.
That's my guess. It'll probably come with it in a bundle or some stuff like that because
I
it'll
like
have new controllers and all that.
I like how they gave you the camera to USB converter if you signed up on the website.
Yeah, I think I have one laying around somewhere.
I've got one in front of me right
I
now.
have two. I signed up for one.
Oh
and got
yeah,
two.
they did send me a second one. Yeah, just randomly
Nice.
a few months later. Yeah.
I think
It's
that
like
partially has to do with the fact that we ordered it through the website, the PlayStation through the website. Oh, there goes
Yeah.
my camera.
Yeah, there it goes.
Ooh, it's hot. Whew.
Jeez, that's just an old iPhone, huh? Even
Yeah.
with your case off, it still gets too hot.
Well,
It's because it's looking at Ian for an hour. It just
hey, it lasted an hour and a half this time. with
Oh,
the
yeah.
case off.
it's just gonna turn itself into
It
slag.
did last a little bit longer. It's gonna start melting on top of your monitor.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
don't think so.
we have to look at him for an hour or two. I don't know about you, but
Oh man, there we are.
man, I can't wait for the day when I can afford to put a 4 terabyte drive in my PlayStation 5 or something.
Oh, I know. I mean, SSDs are so damn expensive. It's
And it
just
has to
wild.
be
I'm not.
And it has to be a special one.
Yeah, I'm
Has to
not
have a
even
heat sink,
researching
yeah.
that until it's like several years down the road.
Because it has
Well,
to
I
have
mean, it's
has to have a heat sink
crazy.
on it, and then it has to be thin enough to fit in the slot.
Yeah,
So,
and I
like-
think I did a bit of research, and it was like $200 for about $150 to $200 will get you 1 terabyte. Which,
Yeah.
considering you've already got 800 something in there, it's like, what's the point?
Yeah, but it has to be
Uh-huh.
certified, Dave. You can't get like one without a heat sink. If it doesn't have a heat sink, it's not
Yeah.
going to work.
You have
No,
to
that's what
install
I
one
mean.
yourself.
But that was the price of a 1 terabyte one with a heatsink that would
Yeah.
actually, people have said actually works. And then it's like, I want to say $500, $600 for a 4 terabyte one.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
I wouldn't consider,
And especially right
you
now
know,
with the chip shit going on, it's like
yeah, I mean, if I'm going to put a drive in there, I want to put but a big drive. I mean, one of the best things I did to my PlayStation 4 actually was change out the 500 gig to a 2 terabyte drive. That really that was a real game changer because
I gotta be honest. Like with my internet the way it is, I don't really give a shit about that anymore. Like I delete games and install games constantly, so it's like
you're
that
also all digital as well, which
is
a different ball game as well.
Well,
right,
yeah,
I can still
it's
install it and.
my PS4 probably has 50, 60 games on the external hard drive, but my PS5 I only have like less than 10 games installed.
Yeah.
And I just cycle through them.
I just think
Well,
as the internet becomes open and faster, the need to have that shit is just so unimportant to me.
Well,
like,
it's also partly because Jared and I buy a lot of games on disc still. So when you buy them on disc, you've got to install them from the disc, which does take time, and then it's got to download the inevitable update. And so it's not quite as
not as convenient, but certain games I'll buy digitally, like like when I bought Destiny 2.
Returnal,
I'm like,
you bought Returnal.
I did buy Returnal because I didn't think anybody else would play it.
Oh wait, I have a digital. I wish you could share your digital shit though.
Yeah, I mean, you could log in over there and have them play
No,
it
but
that
I mean,
way,
it'd be cool if you
yeah.
had like they gave you 2 licenses, let's say, and like so I could let Jared borrow it, and then I could shoot it over to Dave. Dave could borrow it, so like that you'd have like a guest license. I mean, why can't
you
they do
loan
that?
games out on Steam?
Yeah, you can totally. I can open up my library to you, and I have to come over to your place and log in to my account to do that. But yeah, you can totally share libraries.
Yeah.
And basically, I just can't play the game if you're playing it.
Yeah, well, that's the downside. Like if I buy a multiplayer game that can be run on PS4 and PS5, if I buy it on disc, like Minecraft or something like that, my daughter and I can't play together on our own screens. But if I bought it digitally, she'd be able to play it on the PS5 while I play it on the PS4, and we'd be able to play together on 2 different screens.
Yeah.
So there's perks for people like me that want to play certain games multiplayer, buying a disc versus digitally. So but now I really have to look at that kind of thing.
But I wish they could give us a choice on that, because like there's a bunch of digital games that I own that I've beaten or I'm not going to play that I think maybe you guys would dig, that I could just like switch off and say, hey, let my friends try these, like,
or let you sell the license,
or like something like or gift it. It's like here, Dave, try Fast and the Furious Crossroads.
Yeah,
it's awful. Try it.
Yeah,
because I'm never gonna play it again. But like, can I just turn off my license and gift it to Dave, and then, like, come on, I think that'd be cool. Why isn't that an option?
Yeah.
Well,
to the future, which will probably never happen. But hey, to the future.
Really, there's no reason that they can't do it. It's just they don't want to. They'd rather try it,
Or like, you give someone like here, I'm giving a friend a 30-day license, so I can't play it for a month, and it's my friends for a month. Like,
yeah, like if it's a multiplayer game, if you shared it, you wouldn't be able to play it yourself. Only they would.
Yeah, but a share play game you can if it's a co-op game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, share play. I gotta try share play again now that my internet's better. Like there's brawlers and stuff like that I'd like to play. That are only local that I can do share play with either one of you guys.
Yeah.
And that's a nice feature, but my old internet wasn't sufficient enough to play in a convincing manner.
For sure.
So those features, but even then, that's like timed. You can only do it for like an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's timed for an hour.
I thought there was a way around that or something.
I don't know
if they did away with that.
I don't know, maybe they did, or maybe it's per session. So like you quit and then jump back in.
Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, so that'd be an interesting trial run. Maybe throw that together one of these nights.
Well, let's we talk about video games. Are we anything else you want to talk about? We have to do the couch co-optional, but like, is there any video game shit you'd like to mention before we move into that last segment?
No. I don't think so. I mean,
I didn't
claim
say
your
the
free
game.
games.
I didn't say the game. I'm excited for February for motherfucking Saints Row, bitches.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Saints
that's
Row.
what I
Well, come on,
want.
everything's coming out in February. I wonder how many of those are going to be pushed back because
Saints Row.
everything's coming out in February.
Saints Row is like, I think Volition waited a long time. They've been working on this game, and like when they showed that game, they had
A lot of gameplay
announcement
stuff.
trailer. They had a lot of gameplay. I think that game is coming out.
Yeah, that'll be a
February.
good one.
Yeah,
So I have a lot.
that's
of,
a game I'm excited for.
So I love Saints Row and create my big titty character and go out and fight some gangs. I'm excited for it. So I love Saints Row.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
It
I'm
should
excited
be.
to see where that goes.
Yeah, it's definitely a series I'm interested in.
Yeah,
So that's
three,
what-
three, 3 and 4 were awesome. 2 was pretty all right.
I think it's February 22nd or something like that. But
Yeah, I
excited
think
for
that's
that.
the one that did the 2/22/22. Yeah.
all right. Well, if there's nothing else, let's couch co-optionals. Jared, do you have anything you'd like to share with the people?
I still have yet to watch it, but there's a Witcher animated movie on Netflix now that bridges
see
the gap
that,
between
but-
Witcher 1 season 1 and Witcher season 2, I think.
No, it's a
So
prequel.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it is a way prequel.
Because it's
with-
Vizimir when he's younger,
Vizimir,
and there's a
that's
bunch
right.
of Witchers, and it does kind of bridge the two because Vizimir is coming in
Yeah.
into season 2, so it gives
Yeah.
you backstory in that character. I don't think it's necessary to the seasons, but it's just something they were doing. So
I'm excited to watch that eventually.
yeah, cool.
I did start The Expanse, by the way, and I loved season
Where are
1.
you at? Oh, you just
I
season
just
one.
season 1, like episode 2.
Dude, that's like the worst
Or,
season.
season 2, episode 1.
Oh, season 2. I mean, season 2. Then it's like
Yeah,
it's a fine show, and then it becomes a next level show.
Okay, so season 2 really skyrockets, huh?
Oh,
I
yeah.
like how they managed to pull something really interesting out of the bag at the season end each season.
Okay,
Like
cool.
it's like really interesting and different, and some of their ideas are really cool.
All right.
And
How
just,
about
it's like this puzzle that you think it's unfolded completely, and then it just goes like,
They
yeah?
only
this
got-
whole other like dimension.
It's got like 5 seasons, and there's one more season coming up. So I
Yep.
figure by the time you get caught up, Jared, you'll be with us for the final season.
I'm
So-
actually gonna rewatch it with my wife.
Oh, are
So I usually like to watch all my TV in on my big screen, but because I wanted to watch the show so bad, I watched it out here on this TV. I've watched it on my phone in my bedroom, like just trying to hide from the kids, kind of just like, all right, here, let's watch. I have a few minutes to watch it here. I'll have to watch one episode out over like 5 sessions. It's kind of annoying, but that's how I
Oh,
gotta
I
watch.
could not do that, dude.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard to keep track of, but it's what I gotta do.
I mean, I think season 2 and 3 are like my favorites still, but like
Yeah.
the season 5 was pretty badass. Oh
Yeah.
man, so I'm excited
Season,
for season
season
6.
4 was the weakest. That was
Yeah,
the one on the
it's-
planet, wasn't
This
it?
is
It was-
kind of like
it felt like they kind of focused back
Yeah.
in on the smaller world.
there were some cool character moments, but it's
Yeah.
like, no, we need to get back to the thing.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm excited to watch more. There's too much stuff to watch. Like,
there is way too much shit to
Marvel's
watch.
What If and all kinds of stuff. So Dave, you can go next. What would you recommend?
Oh man, I've been watching so 2 things. One on Netflix called Lupin. Or
Oh
Lupin.
yeah, the
Oh yeah. Isn't that
French-
based off of an anime or something like that? Lupin?
No, it's a.
This is a
apparently
Different
it's
Lupin.
a gentleman burglar. It's like kind of Sherlock Holmesy type story, except from the criminal side. And he
Huh.
rights wrongs. But it's really good. The story's it's got a good pace to it, and I can't quite see it. Well, I can see how it ends in some respects because there's a big bad guy and obviously he's going to get his comeuppance. But how it does that is it's just I'm just really enjoying that show. And then I rewatched Ted Lasso season 1 with my wife because she'd not watched it. And she was like, I hate you. This is such a good show, and I don't want to watch it because it makes me feel so happy. And
it's
Season-
so good. It's what
season
everyone
2's
needed.
okay, but
That's on Apple, right?
Apple TV.
Yep.
So I do need to subscribe to that because I think with PlayStation 5 users you can get 6 months free.
Yeah, you just have to install the
Yeah.
app and log into it, dude.
Oh, that's
Just
it.
install
Okay,
the app and
so-
it gives it to you.
yeah,
All
they
right.
give that
It's
away
really
for
easy.
free to everything.
And
'cause
that's
I think
until like next year sometime. So I'm
Well,
gonna
whenever
wait
you
until
get
I
it,
have more
whenever-
time to watch it. Yeah.
if you have
Uh,
T-Mobile as well, they give it you free.
But
Yeah,
Dave,
okay.
oh, is that how you watched it, Dave? Because I always thought you got it illegally or something.
I may have done once upon a time in a galaxy far, far away. But
I have no, the Ted Lasso thing. I've only watched the first 2 new seasons of it, the new episodes. I'm just waiting. I like to binge. That show is like a half hour, 23 minutes long.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
great.
one of those things where like I'm just waiting for all the episodes.
I can see that.
I'm just gonna binge it all because
Oh,
I watched it 2 different ways. When I watched the first time I watched it every day or every week it came out, and that was painful. And then I watched it again with Bryn, and we just binged it, and I enjoyed that experience way more. So
yeah.
I'm just
I
Okay.
love Roy Kent. His
Oh,
character
so
is
good.
great.
And that guy
But-
in real life is the total opposite of that motherfucker.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
funny.
He's a super sweet comedian. It's funny.
The
Anyway.
second season, personally, I don't think it's quite as strong as the first, but it's just, it's good. It's still very good. It's just not. I don't know. It's more the story arc. There's like 1 or 2 episodes that feel more like filler than, you know. Whereas in the first series there isn't.
Gotcha.
It's like a Christmas episode, and maybe it's because it's a Christmas episode and it's
Oh,
high
interesting.
as summer.
That's weird.
You know.
Funny. All right. How about you,
I have
Ian?
so many things to recommend, but
Uh,
I'll make it fast.
yeah.
First of all, on Hulu, Reservation Dogs is fucking awesome.
I just got Hulu. I really don't like that service.
I don't
Commercials,
like it
baby.
either. It's a randomly weird service with some weirdly sometimes it has different
Yeah.
movies that are better.
It was
just,
better before Disney bought Fox.
well, yeah, that doesn't really matter because they always own Hulu though. Disney always owned most of Hulu
Yeah.
before that. What Hulu is basically where they're gonna put all their rated R content. That's all that is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, that's what that is. So like Deadpool.
I need to get the
Deadpool.
ad-free service because I hate the ad. The ads
Oh.
are really
Yeah.
bugging me on
So
that.
Deadpool 1 and 2 are on Hulu, not on Disney Plus.
Huh.
And that's where it's gonna stay. So all the rated R content's on Hulu.
Interesting.
So Reservation Dogs though on Hulu I think is really good. Second, I want to recommend the new Halsey album that's produced by
Yeah.
Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. I think that is fucking brilliant. The more I listen
Good
to
so
it, the
far.
more I really enjoy it and get into it. Like I'm not into that kind of stupid girl pop music, but I think this kind of transcends a bit and is kind of deeper than that kind of general bullshit pop music. And then third, I just Plex is really awesome. And
Yes, it is.
download the app if you don't have it on your PlayStation 5. And Jared and Dave, I'll let you share. I'll share my channel with you so you can watch the movies I have on my
All the
hard drive.
porn we can watch.
All the porn you
Yes.
can watch. I'm not going to give it to you, the listeners out there, but I just recommend, Plex. I have a Plex server running on my PC, and then on the Plex app on my PlayStation 5, I can log into it, and then it's
The only
always
note
there.
on Plex is if you do it on the tablet, you have to pay like $5 for the
Well,
tablet
Don't do the tablet.
application.
Don't do the tablet thing.
Oh, no, I know.
Yeah,
it's
there,
great.
there is a premium thing.
Yeah.
So the server I have, and I have all my movies on my PC, and then I can just log into it on a PS5. It doesn't cost me anything. And
Yeah, it
I
doesn't,
actually,
like, 'cause I used to
Justin,
do it on the PlayStation 4.
our friend Justin Daniels, Fuzz Vega in the Discord, he has a massive Plex server, and he has like all the movies. So I watched Fast and the Furious 9, I watched Pig, I watched Nobody. All those movies I recommend. They're kind of crazy and good, but it's just a cool service that allows people to share their content privately and doesn't have to be this So that's a really cool thing. You should check it out. So if you guys want into my server, I'll send you guys, Jared and Dave, my email with the
I'll
share.
think
But you'd
about
have to
it, yeah.
install the Plex app on your PS5. I don't think it takes up much space. And
Yeah, I'm all set up. I've got it on the PlayStation 4.
Huh.
You know,
Oh,
unless
okay.
I'm doing most of my streaming on my PlayStation 4.
Okay. Well, I'll share this little tidbit. A couple of the short films I did with Monty are in my private server. So if you want to watch
okay.
those, they're there. Anyway, that's it.
Cool.
Nice.
What do we do now? Oh, we say goodbye.
Or you can go listen to some more of us as we talk about beer and couch co-op.
Yeah, you can go to
Yeah,
Couch
Couch.
Co-op. Yeah, Dave, what's that about?
That's a podcast where we get. I'm a bit foggy because I've drank a lot of beers on that podcast, but yeah, we get together and we drink a beer every week and we just talk about the beer and maybe a little bit life and
So if you like us,
yeah.
you like us talking about video games, and you also like beer, you can go over there. So both of our podcasts are now on Anchor.fm, so you can go to Anchor.fm/Psychonauts The Couch Co-op Show, or anchor.fm/The Couch Co-hop Show. Or you can just
It's
Google search it.
co-optional.
Co-optional. Or you can just search us on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, Google, all the places. And you can find us there, and find us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram at the Couch Co-op at the Couch Co-op Shows / nothing. Oh, hey, it's Evelyn. And
she's going to bed.
Go to bed. You're up way too late. It's school tomorrow. I have to go to work tomorrow. I have fucking volleyball
school tomorrow.
Yeah, Ellen doesn't. Ellen, my daughter doesn't start till Wednesday, but.
Oh really? We started last week.
She's going to middle school though, so.
Oh yeah.
Well, our middle schools also started last week.
You know, maybe I should check that, because maybe she is starting tomorrow.
Anyway, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Couch Co-op Shows, all one word, no hyphen. I want to thank Jared and Dave for joining me here on the couch.
Always nice to be here.
Aaron wanted to be here, but hey guys, out in the world, his wife is expecting, so he has a lot of other extra duties.
Yep.
And so his time is a little more, what would you say? I don't know.
Yeah, those children things take you.
Children's. Anyway, thanks for being here on the couch. Ian. What do we say? Please be excellent.
Be excellent to each other.
Couch Co-op, no hyphen.
Yeah.
Needs to be professionals.
Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op.